Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Nurse Momo coming to you all the way from Ireland. I want to say a very big thank you to all my supporters, to those who have subscribed to this YouTube channel. A very big thank you because this really means a lot to me. If this is your first time of joining my YouTube channel, please remember to hit the subscription button and also the notification button. So at any time I post my video, to be the first person to be notified. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how an overseas nurse can come into Ireland and work as a nurse. So please stay tuned and I hope you enjoy it. So first and foremost, for an overseas nurse to come into Ireland and work as a nurse, you have to pass your English proficiency test. So the two main English proficiency tests accepted by NMBI is what we call the OET or the IELTS examination. And then you need to have the specific band accepted by the Nurses and Midwifery Board of Ireland before you can proceed to the next stage. So after you've met the required band score for your English proficiency test, you can now go ahead and register with the Nurses and Midwifery Board of Ireland. So you have to make a payment of €350 and also submit relevant documents from your institution that you completed and also from your employer. Okay, in addition to other relevant documents to the Nurses and Midwifery Board of Ireland. After you've done all that, you have to wait for a specific period of time, usually between a period of 0 to 90 days, for a decision to be made by the Nurses and Midwifery Board of Ireland, that is NMBI. So NMBI will come back to you with three main decisions, okay? And the first decision that would come out, usually, which is very rare, okay, this decision is very rare, is what we call the acceptance. And with acceptance, this is when NMBI is telling you that with all the documents that you submitted, they all correspond with their educational system. So there is no need for you to have any kind of examination or for you to come and prove yourself in their country. They are just giving the opportunity to just come in as an overseas nurse and work in Ireland as a nurse. So the second decision is what we call the decision letter. So with the decision letter, NMBI tells you to complete a compensation measure. So with the compensation measure, you are given two options. And the first one is for you to undergo an aptitude test. So with the aptitude test, you are given two options, okay? So with the two options, you are supposed to write a theory test and also a practical exams for you to now finally be registered in Ireland, okay? And the second option is for you to undergo an adaptation. With the adaptation, it's a period of 6 to 12 weeks, okay, where you get to work in a clinical setting under supervision, okay. So after the specific period of time, so your supervisor would either mark you competent or incompetent, or further require NMBI to give you further time to continue working and get used to their clinical setting. After you are done with it, and assuming you pass your adaptation, then you can go ahead and also register into the Irish system as a nurse. So the last and final decision is what we call the refusal.
I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
Yes. So with the refusal, it rarely comes out, but it's very possible. So this is when, after assessment of all your documents by NMBI, they give you a refusal letter stating the reason why your document that you provided does not meet their system. Okay, so all the reason for refusing your application will be stated in the refusal letter. Yes, and I have an experience from a friend who was equally refused, and she had all those explanations inculcated in the letter. And after you've received the letter, it also gives you an opportunity, okay, that's not the end. It gives you the opportunity to equally appeal against the refusal. So you can do that by providing relevant documents or information that you have to help support your query or help support your appeal. And then NMBI will have a specific time of period to reassess your document and also come out with a new decision. But please, the appeal is not for free. You definitely have to pay for the appeal as well. So that is the last decision, and I pray nobody gets it actually. So after you have your decision letter or your acceptance letter, the next stage for you to go, okay, is for you to now search for a job. Okay, and to search for a job is either you go through an agency or you now submit your CV and other relevant documents to the HR department of any hospital. You can choose to go to the HSE, that's the Health Service Executive, or to that's the government sector. Okay, that's what we call the government sector, or you can now go through the private hospital. It all depends on you. But ideally, you can just send both CVs to both sectors and see where you get your first offer, and then you can now make your decision based on that. So after you are done done submitting all your documents, you can now wait for an interview date. Okay, so all things being equal, if you are able to pass your interview, okay, your employer will now send you an offer letter. So the offer letter tells you that you pass your interview, we like you, we want to work with you. So these are the benefits that you're going to receive, okay, as an employee working with us. So it's now left with you to now like go through, scrutinize it, and be like, okay, I like it, or you can choose to decline it. It's not compulsory to always accept your first offer. The decision solely remains with you, okay? But in an instance where you really like the offer, you can now go ahead and sign it, and then your employer will now send you your contracts, okay? So when you receive your contract, it's usually the same thing as your offer letter, but this gives you more benefits or more vivid explanation or more informations about the benefits you are going to receive as an employee of that particular hospital, okay? Yeah, so after you've signed your contract, then you can now move to the next exciting stage. So after you finish signing your contract, okay, your employer will now move to the next stage. And the next stage is to now apply for a critical skill permit or atypical working scheme for you. So it all depends. This is kind of confusing, but I'll just make it very simple, and I hope that you all understand. So in an instance where you received an acceptance letter from NMBI, your employer will now be applying for a critical skill permit because you are coming in to work as a nurse, not to go under any kind of test. Okay, so that is your permit, your work permit that you'll be needing to work as a nurse in Ireland. But in an instance where you received a decision letter, okay, with that your employer will have to apply for atypical working scheme for you. So the atypical working schemes gives you the opportunity to come into Ireland and to stay for a specific period of time, okay, and to also undergo your period of test. Remember either your aptitude test or your period of adaptation. Get straight acceptance, your employer applies for critical skill permits. But when you get decision letter, your employer now has to apply for atypical working scheme for you to come in and pass your period of test before your employer can now go ahead and apply for your critical skill permits. So after you've finally received either your critical skill permit or your atypical work permit, you can now go ahead and apply for your visa. Yeah, so that is the exciting stage. So at this stage, you now have to apply at the Irish Embassy in your country, okay, with other supporting documents. It's not just your critical skill permit or your atypical working scheme. You need other supporting documents as well to go ahead and apply for your visa. So in an instance where you don't have an Irish Embassy in your country, you can now apply through the courier service. That will take all your documents or all your documents to the country the associated country. Okay, so for instance, in Ghana, we do not have an Irish Embassy in Ghana, so we apply through VFS. Okay, so VFS takes all our documents to the Irish Embassy in Nigeria. Okay, so after you've submitted all your documents, you now have to wait for a specific period of time. Okay, usually within 4 to 8 weeks for the Irish Embassy to make a decision. Okay, so after you've been able to wait and then your decision has been made, then finally you receive your documents, then you can go ahead and come into Ireland. Okay, so when you come into Ireland to undergo adaptation or aptitude test, you have to now sit for either of them, and then you have to pass, because yes, you cannot fail, you have to pass. So when you pass, then you can now go ahead and register with the Nurse Midwifery Board of Ireland, okay, and then you can now finally practice as a nurse. But in an instance that you had acceptance, you will just come in. Usually most employers will have you undergo a period of induction, and then finally we work fully as a nurse. But even with that, with the induction, you are still going to be paid as a full nurse. It doesn't mean that you're just getting yourself oriented on in their workspace. So this is the entire process of becoming a nurse in Ireland, okay, as an overseas nurse. I hope you like this video. I know it has been a long one, but thank you for staying with me throughout. And please, if you have any further questions, please put it at the comment section. I'll definitely come to you and reply all your questions. And if you haven't still subscribed to this YouTube channel, please hit the subscription button and do so. And also please like my video, because it really helps for other people to also have access to the video. Kindly share on your WhatsApp group, share on your Telegram group, share on your Facebook pages and other pages that you belong to, and I'll be so grateful. Thank you for being part of the family, and I hope to see you very soon to give you more vivid explanation and more details about other documents that you need to provide. Thank you. Bye.